This Archer Queen deck was used by pro player Nightmare to push all the way to global number 2. So the deck is the Archer Queen, the Fisherman, the Giant Skelly, the Golden Giant, the Mini Pecker and the Musketeer. Bit of a strange deck at first glance, but if it's good enough for Nightmare, it's good enough for me. So as always, we've got a couple of replays to share with you guys so you can see this deck in action. So the first replay is against a fellow Archer Queen player called Alioth. It is the clan map, can make things a bit interesting. But yeah, interesting deck. Nightmare posted on Twitter saying he pushed to global number 2, had a nice win streak with this deck. Kindly reached out and says, can I do a video on this deck? And he kindly let me do so. But I'm coming in with the first round, putting on the Golden Giant and the Musketeer. And the Musketeer is the most important mini inside this deck, I feel, along with the Giant Skeleton, depending on what heroes you're going to be playing against. But we're coming in on round 1. He has got the Musketeer as well. My Musketeer does get the shot off on his Archer Queen. That's what's going to let me take round 1 with ease. It is only level 13 Archer Queen. Mine is a level 15. But hey, oh, that's Clash Mini, guys. Sometimes works out that way. But yeah, I must say, if you're going to play the Shield Maiden with this deck, especially if the gizmos that are available, one of them's the same mirror, it's going to be a loss, guys, unfortunately. But yeah, it is a strong deck. I haven't been enjoying playing with this deck. But we're coming in on round 2. Place a Giant Skeleton on the Clam. Fetch on the Mini Pecker. It is full of 3-cost minis, so it's a nice, well-rounded deck. And he has fetched on the Sauna Gizmo inside round 2, but I'm going to get that much damage put down on the board. He's not going to be able to utilise the Sauna. And again, I get some nice value there off my Archer Queen. Manages to come in clutch with that invisibility and take round number 2. My Queen goes to ability first. Comes in clutch there. Easy round 2 win for me. So what I'm thinking is here, guys, the thought process is, I've got my Giant Skeleton there. I want to utilise this Clam. I want to start upgrading my Giant Skelly. Send him to the back of the board. Because I know he's going to play on the opposite side to my Clam. Because I'm going to be sending stuff over. So he's thinking I'm going to keep everything out the way. So I know his minis are going to be on that side. And I know my Giant Skeleton's going to go to the Sauna. So I want to get my Giant Skeleton upgraded so I can get some damage on the Archer Queen and Musketeer at the back of the board. Was my thought process. But I do sneak on the Fisherman inside this third round. Didn't really want to play the Fisherman. Fisherman's only there for the mirror map, so you can shut down players using the mirror. But I do get the upgrade on my Giant Skeleton, send him to the back of the board like intended. And you can see there, he's pushed up to his Archer Queen. Because I've got the larger surface area. Boom, there goes my Giant Skeleton. Get some nice damage and a little bit of stun on his Archer Queen and Musketeer. And it was enough to take round number 3. So we're coming in against a Monk player, Carpathus. It looks like a bit of a mouthful there. Is the clan map. It is a level 15 Monk to make things extra interesting. We've got a nice set of gizmos there. We've got the training camp, the sauna and the rocket. Quite a nice mix of gizmos. I can sort of utilise all 3 of them with playing the Monk. But I come on with the Musketeer. Come on with the Mini Pecker in round 1. Gets a nice placement off his Monk there. Charges the ability up right away. No chance on God's green earth am I going to win round number 1 against this Monk. And it is going to be an easy round 1 win for Car. Once my Queen comes out of invisibility, there we go. Monk one-shots my Queen. Easy round 1 win for Car. So what to do here? I'm thinking I'm just going to get some minis down, get my Golden Giant on, get my Giant Skeleton on the board. And the Giant Skeleton and Musketeer are the main caddies I feel in this deck. We're coming in against the Monk. I've got some nice upgrades available for the Giant Skeleton. Also for the Musketeer, so I can push that Monk away from my Archer Queen if he's pushing to the back of the board. So that comes in super useful against Monk players. And he has got a Miner and a Witch. Pretty interesting deck. Can be a bit of a pain deck this to play against for an Archer Queen. But we get some nice damage on his Monk from my Archer Queen. My Musketeer coming clutch there, dealing with the Miner. And this is going to be enough to take round number 2 for me. Invis goes off on my Musketeer and Archer Queen. Easy round 2 win for myself. So this is where things start getting interesting. He's got a Battle Healer, he's got a Witch, he's got a Miner. He's got an Archer as well in his deck. You know, there's a lot of minis there that can shut down my deck and my hero. So I'm going for the upgrade to the Musketeer. Trying to get my Musketeer upgraded and my Giant Skeleton upgraded. That was my thought process here inside this match. So I'll go for the bigger area on the Giant Skeleton because he has got this, the Witch. She's going to spawn skeletons. If I do a bigger surface area, it's going to probably cover most of them skeletons and get some damage on the skellies for me. And I fetch on the rocket gizmo to get some extra damage down on the monk and his other minis. He misses with his monk. He's fetched on the rocket as well. So his miner will shut down there because it went to the wrong side. My rocket fires. His rocket goes off, but because my giant skelly had a lot of life, he actually... my golden giant had a lot of life. It went to my golden giant, left my archer queen untouched. So we come in and take round number 3. Like I say, I've got the fisherman there. Can be coming useful. So I'm going for the upgrades to my giant skeleton. You know, it does a lot of damage once it's upgraded. You've got the bigger surface area. Lots of damage when it explodes. You've got the stun going off on the giant skelly. Super useful mini. And I fetch on the fisherman because I thought he's not going to switch sides here with his witch. So if I sneak on the fisherman, might be able to pull that witch down. Shut her down early game was my thought process. And we've got that mini pecker there just behind the rocket gizmo in case he sends something over. And he sends his monk over and I do manage to hook his witch. But unfortunately for me, my mini pecker can't come back and target that monk because of his miner. He blocked the pattern for my mini pecker. And he does manage to shoot my rocket gizmo down. And his rocket fires, targets my archer queen. And he's going to take round number 4. Smart play from him, sending the monk over, trying to target my gizmo and take that out of the equation. That's what his thought process was. So I need to pull something out the bag going into rounds number 5. Easy round 5 win for Car. Good game, these. The monk's still pretty strong inside the meta. And this is quite a tricky deck to play against, especially for the archer queen. But it just goes to show how versatile this deck actually is. So I'll go for the 3-star giant skelly. I go for the dissipate on my mini pecker. Leave him in the same place. Because if he sends that monk to the back, that dissipate's going to help targeting the monk. So he doesn't shut down my rocket gizmo early game. And I place my fisherman there. So the monk might target my fisherman instead of my rocket. Yeah, he sends the rocket over. And he sends the miner in the same place. But look at that. My fisherman come in clutch because I moved him to the centre of the board. And the monk actually targets my fisherman and leaves my rocket alone. And we get the rocket going off on the board. And I've still got my pecker, my giant skelly, my golden giant and my archer queen against this 2-star battle healer. But my mini pecker's got dissipate. And we're going to come in clutch and take round number 5. So there we have a couple of replays of the archer queen deck. Used by the global number 2 player on the leaderboard, Nightmare, top player. Come up with this deck. It's done well for him. Thought I'd showcase it for you guys. If you like this video, consider dropping me a like down below. Let me know how this deck holds up for you guys if you do give it a try. If you want to see more Clash Mini content like this, feel free to subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next video.